All right, here we've got another evaluating expressions video, but this one is going to include exponents. So I've written evaluating exponential expressions. So let's look at the first one here. We have 4a squared when a equals 3. So our first step is always going to be to plug our variable in with the value that we're given. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4, and then in parentheses, I like writing the variable value. And then let's go back to our exponent here. So we have to go through our order of operations. And that is PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we look at parentheses. Okay, there's nothing to do in the parentheses, so check there. Exponents. Oh, here we are. We've run into an exponent. So we need to do 3 squared, which is 3 times 3. Well, that's going to be 9. So now we're left with 4 times 9, which is equal to 36. That's our answer. Let's move down here. We have y to the power of 4 when y is equal to 1/2. So as always, I'm going to rewrite this, but with the variable value given. So instead of y, it is 1/2. From here, I don't like the way this looks. I'm actually going to write it out in expanded form. So it's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Now I'm just going to multiply each 1/2 at a time. In fact, let's do these two together and then these two together and then multiply those two together. That should give us an easy way to do this. So 1/2 times 1/2, 1 times 1 on the top, 2 times 2 on the bottom. So that is 1/4. I've got the same thing over here, so that's another 1/4 on this side. Now I've got 1/4 times 1/4. Numerator times numerator is 1. Denominator times denominator is 4 times 4, so 16. My answer here is 1/16. Let's move on to this example over here. A little more complicated because there's more than just one term here. So I'm going to rewrite my expression, but rather than writing the variables, I'm going to write what they're equal to here. So instead of b, I'm going to write 4. And then in the parentheses, instead of a squared, I'm going to write 2 squared and then plus 4 in the parentheses. So back to order of operations. Parentheses first. All right, I have a lot to do in the parentheses. In fact, I have 2 things to do. I have an exponent and I also have addition. So of those, what is supposed to go first in the order of operations? Look back up here. Oh, well, no parentheses inside the parentheses. So exponents now. Let's get those taken care of. So I'm going to rewrite it with the exponents taken care of. So instead of 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, 2 to the power of 2, 2 times 2, that's going to write 4, because that's what that is equal to. Now I have to do the plus 4 as well, close the parentheses, and let's move to the side for our next step, just to save room. Now I'm going to rewrite 2 plus, and then 4 in front of the parenthesis. Sorry, I wrote that a little messy. And then now in the parentheses, we have 4 plus 4, which is 8. Now we have 2 plus 4 times 8. So in order of operations, we have no more things to do in the parentheses. We have no more exponents. Now we have to do multiplication and division, whichever comes first, and there's only multiplication. So we have to do 4 times 8. So I'm going to bring that one over here. 2 plus 4 times 8, which is 32. And so my answer on this one is going to be 34. Last example I've got for you. We have 0.1 to the power of x. We actually have an exponent we have a variable as our exponent. So we are given a value for that variable, x equals 2. So I'm going to rewrite it, 0.1 to the power of 2, because x equals 2. So I'm going to do kind of what I did on the fractions problem where I started writing it out. So this is actually going to be 0.1 times 0.1. Be careful that you know the difference here between our multiplication sign and our decimals. So in order for me to do this one well, I'm going to stack them vertically for multiplication. I always think that's the best way to do your handwritten multiplication. So I'm going to take 1 times 1, which is 1, 1 times 0, which is 0. Next, I'm moving over to the 0, or to the 0 here in the next column over, so I need a placeholder 0. 0 times 0 is, or 0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. Add those all together, I have 1, 0, 0. Now I'm not done, because 0.1 times 0.1 is not 1 whole. What I need to do here is look at the amount of digits I have behind a decimal point. I have 1 behind a decimal point here and another behind a decimal point here. That is 2 digits behind the decimal point. So I need 2 digits in my answer behind the decimal point. So my answer is, I'll rewrite it a little larger, 0.01.